Yeah, good evening, everybody. First of all, we have a game where gets kind of sidetracked with Celio's horrific injury. So we just wish him all the best. We're not sure of all the exact details. Um, I know it didn't look good at the first visual, and I'm not sure how to evaluate it after it, but that's a big shock for us. And then we lose Joachim as well. So before we even talk about how the game went, we have to talk about how our teammates are doing. And that's first and foremost. Those are the most important things. Trying to speak about the game. I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I don't want to be thinking that this is not a serious situation to be in. 100%. I felt we had enough chances to dictate and dominate the game. I felt we had enough in their end of the play. We give up 2 moments and a penalty, of which I'm not sure it was, and a corner kick goal. So unfortunately, we give up 2-3 moments and we get punished for 2. So, for the 20 minutes that we were in the game, in the first 20 minutes, wow, I thought we did an excellent job. The only thing that's lacking now is to create the clear moment, or, I thought we got a lot of shots on target. And unfortunately, the 0 scoreline stays intact for them. So we have to brush this off our shoulders. We have to evaluate our squad. We have to move forward, and we have a very important, crucial game against Colorado on Wednesday.
First question, we'll go to Matt.
Coach, you mentioned you don't have any updates yet on Celio or Joachim on statuses going forward.
Yeah, correct. I'm not at liberty to discuss injuries right now. Joachim looks like a muscular pull. With Celio, we'll just have to evaluate properly, and I just have to dissect what's going on. Again, I'll head off to the hospital now and just to check up on him.
And then as far as the actual play on the field, it's another goalless game, but I think the stats show that you created chances, you had shots, you led on shots on target. What do you feel it is at this point after a few games that the team's lacking that can help right the ship?
Yeah, the thing is that, the industry that we're in, all right, you play games to score goals, to win points on the board, and you go through moments, right? And sometimes the road, that's a far-traveled road, which is an MLS season. It has ups, it's downs, it's lefts, it's rights. You have to jump over the problems and off you go again. So, when you get, the thing is we have to, stop feeling sorry for ourselves. We have to be critical in our evaluation, and we have to share and show where it's not good enough, right? And then we also have to share and show where it is good enough. And for that, I think we've done massive steps forward as a group, right? So, yes, you're right. Dominated in a lot of areas. But then the more problems that come your way, you either have a belief system, or you either, drift away. And it's our job now as a collective to make sure that we don't drift away, that we're all connected, that we, share a common belief. And I saw a team tonight with so many positive moments, man. Like really good. I saw Akil play out of his socks. I saw Jubs, who gave us performances like he did last year. We saw so many green light, moments of like, wow, this is awesome. So, this is what keeps us going. This is what drives me every single day. And now it's my job to instill belief, right? So because it's a game we lose, we've been in every game, and we've dominated a lot of the games. So yes, while we don't score on this one, I do feel that there are opportunities here to be had. And again, we're halfway through the road. The road is 34 games deep. We're 17 into them. And we just have to continue to grind, work it out. The harder you work, I believe, the luckier you will get. And then we'll be okay. So before we get to that point, there's a tons of things now on our shoulders, right? So we have to work them. We have to work through them. And move forwards, and that's the important thing.
Next, we'll go to Justin.
Okay, I just wanted to talk a little bit about instilling that belief. Obviously, the Celio injury, it hurts, and then Nokvi has to come in on short notice because of that. The cameras picked up a nice conversation between him and Xiao Klaus before he came on. But what was that conversation with him? Obviously, acknowledging what just happened to Celio, but knowing that he has to kind of step up in a big way as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think guys know, how close they are to the team and their teammates, and yeah, just to keep on pushing each other through moments. And sometimes we throw in a curveball, and we have to deal and move on with it, right? So this job, it's not for the faint-hearted. And if you don't believe in your process and you don't believe in your structure, then it's gonna be tough, because the good times are easy to manage, and now it's the tough times that we have to manage, right? So we challenge each other every single day, and we push each other. Last year we were the top of the West, and we didn't have a settled day in our building last year. We pushed each other. So you can imagine now, how supportive, how we are pushing each other, how we are demanding accountability, how we, are striving for success as a group together. So, there's moments to be had, yeah, there's opportunities to be had. And now guys, have a chance to prove themselves, which is, the next you flip side of the coin, right? So yeah, we just have to embrace these opportunities. And for whichever, unfortunate story or what happens, there's a group of guys that are chomping at the bit. So, we have to now motivate them. We have to get them, organized into a group that's formidable, that's got belief, and to take on the next game. And the next game's right just on our doorstep. So, there's no time to delve in it. There's no time to sink in the thoughts. We just have to get back to work and plan for Wednesday.
Steve?
Yeah, just talk a little bit about that injury. I'm not on there yet, but that has to bring you down both mentally and physically. That was fairly gruesome.
Yeah, again, I'm no medical practitioner. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a surgeon. So yeah, I can't. I know what I saw, but I can't say what I'm seeing right now, because I don't have the green light from the medical staff. So but I think we've been in the game long enough to know what type of injury that was.
What did you see on the penalty kick? Was that a good call or not?
Again, we've been in situations this season where we haven't been able to get the rub of the green or the decision. Anthony Marcanic scores a goal against LAFC, was judged to be a ball to hand, or a hand to ball, or a knee to ball, or what have you. We score the goal, gets disallowed. Same thing happens in their end. We don't get the call, they get the call on a shoulder challenge. Like, again, we can go down the list. It does not help us, and we just move on and continue to the next game. So we have to control the things we can control, and those decisions we cannot control.
Thanks, Coach.
Go back to Matt.
Coach, the injuries at the beginning, obviously they required sub windows. Did that play into some of the tactical changes that you made in the second half in using one window for the 3 subs?
Yeah, one is just trying to get energy on the field. Jose Kojima put in a massive load. Klaus put in another massive load. So yeah, just to get, and I thought within the press, I saw us turn over so many balls, and create so many moments of exciting opportunities in the transition, and a lot of chances. So, to bring 3 fresh guys on, to operate, to take a little bit of a gamble and put AZ as the tweener between 6 and 10, to try and just get on the ball and create a few things, was just a roll of the dice at that point. But other than that, I saw a really good couple of things in terms of against the ball. I saw one of our better games, or even high up there with really good games of chance creation and shots on target and whatever you want, to define an attacking style of play. I saw many moments. So my job is to continue to get to those moments. And again, when one falls, you know how it goes. Then the luck changes, and then all of a sudden you're getting calls that go your way, that randomly now fall for you. So and that's us. We don't lose our hope, and we continue to control what we can control.
Was there ever a thought of making a halftime substitution, or did you see what you needed to see in the first half, especially at the end of the first half, that thought you had the momentum going with the current players?
Yeah, I mean the way the game was disjointed in the first half, the way the stoppage, the 14 whatever it was minutes, we had to reevaluate, reassess, and again, that's upsetting the rhythm, So I don't think it was necessary, and it wasn't even discussed in that.
And then, Coach, sorry,
we got time for 2 more. Steve or Justin, before we go back to Matt. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, Coach, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to think through the center back situation yet, but with the injury to Joachim and then Tim Parker's yellow card, you're going to be a little bit short-staffed for the next game. Have you given thought to how you're going to address that yet?
Yeah, we have possibilities, and I think it's way too early to. I know we lose Tim. I know we get Chris Durkin back. I know we have a lot of things positive, hungry guys that are at City too. We know we can call up Michael Wenzel. We know we can put in Jake Nowinski. So we definitely do have possibilities. We believed in a plug and play system last year, and we haven't changed that mindset.
Steve, do you have any?
I think we're good, guys.
Matt, one on you if you have one more.
Yeah, Coach, I was just curious. Are there any updates on Nicholas Dewar, any possible moves that are on the horizon for him? I know he was left off the game day roster, or is that just looking to more attack oriented with Caden and Klein?
Yeah, regarding, as to when and moves, and that's a Lutz question, so you're just gonna have to connect with Lutz. We took 20 players today with a belief in where we are, and who we can bank on, and guys that are informed. So that's the decision we took, and I thought guys came in, made an impact. Us guys we started made a very big impact, like Akil Watts, like Jose Kojima. So Johnny Klein looked active tonight. So again, we will continue our pathway.
Not to sneak a last question in, but can you speak a little bit on Johnny Klein and what you saw from him tonight?
Yeah, good stuff that we've seen for better part of 12 months to 15 months with Johnny Klein. Like he's brave, he's active, he's really good against the ball. He was very neat with the ball tonight, finding little pockets between lines. So he has a good feel about being around our principles, and he did a good job.
Coach, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Go ahead, Matt Baker.
Edu, how did you think the overall flow of the game went, and especially in the first half, given all of the injuries and the issues that occurred? How do you think your team performed in response to that, especially?
I think pretty good, pretty well, as in the last couple of weeks as well. It was definitely a shock seeing Celio's injury. It was the darkest moment of the game. It was. It looked so bad, and then with Joachim as well, it's definitely tough to deal with that mentally. But I think the team still did a good job, and it's frustrating that we fly out of Dallas without any points.
Next, we'll go to Justin.
And it seemed like you were feeling a little bit better out there. It seemed like you were kind of creating things a little bit more as you can feel more comfortable. How did this feel for you as you were chasing a goal?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into rhythms more and more, and that's why you need playing time. And I still need some time. I still need more games. I still need more minutes. And it's going to take some time to be the old me, being fresh on the pitch and everything. But it definitely feels good, and I'm happy to get those minutes in, and also happy that the coach is always communicating with me on the pitch. He was communicating to take me out when the 2-0 happened, and then they took it back, and then he left me on the pitch. Now it's about recovering well and being ready for the next game on Wednesday.
Steve, do you have a question?
Yeah, do talk a little bit about, you're not getting outplayed. You're putting shots on frame. It's just not falling. Is it frustrating? What do you got to do to change it?
Yeah, of course it's frustrating for sure. And I mean, at the end of the day, we have to blame ourselves for not finishing up these chances. I think it almost feels like we are creating like pretty good chances. Like even if in some games we are creating a lot of good chances, and then some games we have like 100% chances that we are not using and scoring. And then at the end of the day, we have to blame ourselves for not doing that. But then also, to be honest, we are addressing it week in, week out, and it's kind of frustrating that every single time we get penalties against us, we get big decision against us. There's no foul. It's body to body. They are not even reviewing it. And whenever we get a penalty, last week in Portland was the same thing. Miami, we get a goal against us. yeah, that is a clear foul. Portland, we get a clear foul against Durkin. There can even be a red card. We don't even get a foul, don't get a penalty, and it's week in, week out the same. And honestly, it's frustrating. And I think, yeah, also the referees have to do a better job, both sides on that. Yeah, but then in the end of the day, we lost the game still because we didn't use the chances we had.
We'll go back to Matt.
Edu, can you talk a little bit about what you saw in the run of play in front of you? What was the offense struggling with? What were they particularly succeeding on? And was this just Dallas being at a low block, or were there opportunities at the run of play that you didn't take advantage of?
I think if you ask Dallas, and if they are really honest, they are very happy with the win, and they know they shouldn't have won this game because they are just sitting in a deep block. They were trying to play out. They get a few chances, not many chances. In the end of the day, they get a penalty that isn't a penalty. And then they score from a set piece where we get caught sleeping. And yeah, and we get a lot of chances. They're just sitting in a deep block. We have our moments. We are not using them. And they are just, obviously, they have a lot of big bodies. They are heading all the balls out. And then, yeah, they just tried to defend the lead, and that's what it did.
Are there ways that you need to work on in how to create space or really handle a team that drops back like that? Because that seems to be somewhat consistent in how teams are handling St. Louis.
I mean, in the end of the day, yes, you have to find solutions for that. But I think you can always adjust your style and think about the next opponent and adjusting some spaces that you need to play on and to use against certain teams. But also in the end of the day, it's about the principles we have to be better at that, and to have your clear playing style. I think, yeah, Dallas had a lot of possessions, ball position in their own half, and then they were hitting a lot of long balls and hoping to get something out of it. And I think we had a lot of ball possession in their half, which was good, and we had our moments. I mean, in the end of the day, it's just about scoring. You score the first one, and the momentum is kind of on your side. You have confidence, and then the second one, third one will come. But I mean, in the end of the day, if you're not scoring and not scoring and not scoring, it gets more and more frustrating, and mentally, it's get tougher and tougher.
Justin, Steve?
I do. Will coming home maybe help this a little bit? 2 matches at home in a short period of time. Can that help flip the switch a little?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Playing in front of our own fans is always a big thing, and it's always different with that atmosphere. And yeah, we will need the fans. We will need the fans in the next couple of weeks to get out of this situation. Yeah, what we need is a winning streak. We need to win the first game, and then the next game, and then things will go our way. We have to be patient, and we just have to keep going, because like sticking our heads into the sand now is not going to help. And yeah, we have to find our way through this all together.
Johnny, how did it feel stepping out on the field for City for the first time in 2024?
I came on, I think, when there was a VAR decision going on, so it was a little bit chaotic there for a second, then realized we were only down a goal. So when I came on, I just wanted to create something, a goal contribution. We were in the game at that moment. So, no, it was really good, and felt comfortable out there, and just a little bit disappointed not to be able to contribute.
You feel like this was a pretty smooth transition from what you'd been doing with City 2, not just in positioning on the field, but just how the flow was, the speed of the game? Yeah,
I think definitely playing on that right side. I thought me and Tots had a good connection, kind of working the ball there a little bit. And yeah, I can play really any of the 3 positions there in the 4-2-3-1. So wherever Carnell was going to put me in tonight, I felt like I could be effective.
Go ahead, Justin.
Johnny, coming off your run with City 2, does it feel nice to at least get on the field with the first team, kind of as a reward for those performances?
Yeah, it does feel good. But when the result goes this way, it's a little bit disappointing. But there is a little bit of a moral victory for myself. Just it shows that the work that I'm putting in is not going unnoticed. So yeah, it felt good to be out there and get a run out, but really, really wanted to try to help the team get a result tonight, but it just wasn't in the cards.
Talk a little bit
I feel
about
like I know.
Go ahead, guys. Sorry.
Steve, go
Johnny,
ahead.
talk a little bit about, you played well enough to win again. How frustrating is this that you're just not getting outplayed and you're just not getting the 3 points?
Yeah. After the game, we talked about it a little bit in the locker room. Just, this is the game of soccer for whatever reason. The ball's just not going in the net now. And personally for me, being on City 2, the results are going our way right now. Now I come into this locker room, the results aren't going their way. And it can be a form thing. And I think in other sports, maybe people don't understand that a little bit, but in soccer, it can really be just a belief or something that the group might not have in the moment. But no, just being around this group all week, it's right there. Any moment this thing's gonna flip for them. So however I can be a part of that, I'm happy to be. But this group is sitting right there to start stringing some results together.
On the sidelines, was that Pompeo injury? Did that bring everybody kind of down? You played so well for 15 minutes and then bam.
Yeah. On the bench, we actually didn't have a really good look at it. But then when the medical team ran out there, I think people started to realize how severe it was. And things like that in the game can throw the rhythm off, but it's for both teams, though it is one of our players, both teams are out there standing around for a little bit. But if anything, I think it helps the group rally around Celio. We came over to the sideline and we just wanted to play hard for him. And it's a really bad injury and we're thinking about him.
We'll go back to Justin.
I'm good, John, actually.
Okay. Matt?
All good. Thank you.
Steve, you good?
We're good.
Awesome. Johnny, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny.